How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? I got suggested a very stupid idea. I came up with it a couple days beforehand, but I got one of the comments from you guys saying, what happens if you were to make an axe untamed? Because the cool part about Let Loose here is that it makes it so your ambush skills will refresh whenever you swap weapons. And if you haven't seen the previous episodes in this series, I've done short bow, and longbow. So, next we're going to take a look at axe. Maybe we'll try greatsword, or hammer, and just go spinning around at some point. Let me know what sort of stupid concoctions you guys can come up with. But we are going to do a little bit of axe gameplay here for a second, then I will break the build down for you. So, in this scenario, the primary goal is going to be to pull with either your dagger, or you can also use an offhand axe, or you can use a warhorn. I'm just using dagger because I have incinerator and I like the foot trails. But the goal for this is going to be able to pull as many things as possible and then weapon swap and use your Untamed ability like that. And that'll do a massive crit, which should allow you to do a lot of damage. Now, the best part, there's not really much of a target cap. So we just switch over and delete everything. As a result, coupled with the sharpening stone, so we get bleed on every single axe, and then the relic of Norris will give us some nice extra healing. Plus, this swap will also siphon life and heal us as well. So yeah, this build's pretty stupid, pretty fun, not gonna lie. So yeah, all in all, big fan. All right, let's get out of here, and I shall show you the build. Let's glide our way back down, and while you get that nice scenic view, they'll try and snipe me as I explain. So, what I've opted for here, I'm also going to do some spear coverage eventually, but originally I was running axe, spear, and then of course I realized you could just do axe, and do really stupid stuff. So, primarily we're going to want to pick up the axe node for reduce recharge, because obviously it's our main weapon, so we're going to be locked into beast mastery as a result of that. So we're going to pick up Potent Ally, so you and your pet will each grant each other might when critically striking. We're going to probably use a tank pet or an attack pet. In this case, I think I have just a standard attack pet. He's pretty chill. That's Pancake. He's a good boy. He's a cute pet, cute lion. One of the sand lions. You could also use, what's the other one? Smoke Scale, I think is one of my personal favorites. The killing spree effect they do does a lot of damage. But when they're doing a bunch of damage like that, to then trigger the might gain on them, or the smoke scale, for example, you then hit your we heal is one, and you'll dupe the might. You were seeing me use my heal just naturally to top off when I was doing that little showcase, but I was also duplicating the might on my pet back onto me. And then on top of that, with the Let Loose as well, this will then duplicate my quickness onto the pet as well. So then they'll have quickness for more crits, and then more crits, more might, dupe might, etc. Then we get your pet deals increased strike damage, and pet gains pet swap recharge reduction. The minor nodes don't particularly matter, it's just all sort of pet stuff. Pet heals, which is really useful for if you want to take on champions, like I said, tank pet. You could also use one aggro pet and then one tank pet if you want to take on champs, that'd be pretty good for that. And honed axes, like I said before, for the axe bonus. This will actually double stack if you're wielding axe. So you can opt for that as well. Then we're going to go skirmishing with sharpened edges, hidden barbs for bleeding on crit. Obviously, pet crit, we crit with the swap with the unleashed volley, and then you'll get extra bleed on top of that. The axes will also apply bleed themselves with the sundering volley. The normal ricochet won't, but because of this, now every single bouncing axe will also apply bleed on crit. Then you'll get Fury whenever you swap weapons in combat, which obviously we're swapping weapons all the time, so we'll generate Fury, so then we don't need Spotter. And we can take bleeding, you inflict is more dangerous. And then Quick Draw, which is the miracle worker in this setup, of course, because we weapon swap, and then you're probably going to want to use either Split Blade or Winter's Bite. This will give you 66% off your next cooldown. You could opt for some of the other options, but I feel like Quick Draw is just that much more fun. With that, you could also go axe, and then Quick Draw Whirling Defense, which is really good. So you could do Path of Scars to throw at the axe, pull them towards you, weapon swap, sunder, so weapon swap, throw everything, and then do a Whirling Defense over top. Whatever you're fighting is going to melt. It won't even be remotely close. Then we go into Untamed here, and it's just the same standard line. of Unleashed Ambush skills deal more damage, Unleashed Ambush skills remove boons, then the Unleashed Ambush skills will refresh on flip over. Then you'll get increased outgoing strike damage while you're unleashed, which is beautiful. And then your Unleashed Ambush skills will siphon health if they hit, which is our main source of healing aside from We Heal as 1. So we're constantly getting healing ticks. Plus, of course, you saw me getting bigger and bigger there, which is the Relic of Norris, which will give you stacks every interval when you remove boons from enemies. And naturally, we're going to be removing boons with our Unleashed Ambush skills here. So when this goes off after 10 stacks, you're going to get 25% increased damage, as well as condition damage, reduced incoming damage, and reduced incoming condition damage, healing, etc., etc. There's a lot, right? But the most important thing is the healing from outgoing attack damage, because when you weapon swap, you're going to basically be able to top yourself off when this pops off. You just go for a big AoE volley, you'll get all of the life siphon from all of the targets, and then you'll get the Relic of Norris AoE healing as well, and then you, of course, like I said, dupe the boons and whatnot there. For the runes, I'm just running Scholar for basic damage stuff. You could also run, like, I don't know, Cavalier here, for example, because I've found, for whatever reason, when you hop off your mount, you see it'll play the little Unleashed effect here. But if you hop off your mount in combat, sometimes it will trigger the Unleashed thing. Let's see if I can get it to happen. It only happens sometimes. I don't know if it's a bug or just like a feature, but like if I land, see, there you go. It'll automatically trigger the Unleashed state when you land off your mount. So you could use a Cavalier sigil there, Cavalier relic rather, and just mount up next target, jump off, pop your volley like so, give it a few seconds, use your quick draw, count down a little bit in your head, switch, and see, that's the problem, is sometimes you get the timing wrong. That's why I don't suggest using a warrior sigil either, because if you use that, or warrior relic rather, it's fuck you with all the names in this game. If you use a warrior relic, then your timing is going to get messed up with, excuse me sir, your timing is going to get messed up with the swap timers. So I try to just make it as simple as possible, where all you got to do is weapon swap left click. But the more intricate you get, the more often you can screw up the timings. But otherwise, for the utility skills, I'm opting for Signet of the Hunt here. This is just because most of the time I'm running mob to mob, winging axes and stuff while map clearing. Like I said, if you're playing with Cavalier, or you're playing with a mount, or just going mount to target to target to target, then you don't necessarily need one of these. I've just found that myself, when I'm autopilot map clearing, it'll just be like mob to mob to mob to mob to mob, and I find that this is really good for just constant movement speed all the time. And the unblockables are also pretty nice. Then I'll run Signet of Renewal, because this is just a constant passive heal, and then this will also give you resistance and resolution to your pet, and it'll pull all of its conditions from me. So it pulls all the condies, and it's a stun break, and it's a passive heal. It's just way too good. Sharpening Stones will bleed foes with your next few attacks, which of course, if you pop your Sharpening Stones before you do your Sundering Volley, everything melts. And then after that, Strength of the Pack, for the same thing. You basically pop Strength of the Pack, pops Sharpening Stone, dive in, and then you go for the Sundering Volley, which will do your mass AoE, give you a bunch of might, give you a bunch of bleed, dupe it, 25, and then just repeat from there, as you saw me doing in there. I'll do it one more time for showcase purposes, and then I shall send you on your way. So, we're gonna dive in, we're gonna pop Strength of the Pack, we're gonna pop my Sharpening Stones, we're gonna pull our target, we're gonna weapon swap, and for some reason it didn't go off. That's tragic. Oh well, 20 might anyways, we'll dupe it, make sure we're at 25 stacks that are gonna stick around, and now we can just clear and not really have any issues. Weapon swap, now I get to throw all my axes, and there we go. Sometimes you'll get staggered, sometimes you'll have other stuff come up. And with the Relic of Norris, we're going to be topping ourselves off in our little downtime there where we have no healing up. So we're just passively getting even more there. And yeah, that is pretty much Axe, Untamed, as we absolutely decimate everything. Like I said, in the offhand, you can run Warhorn, you could run Axe, or you could run Dagger like I'm doing right now. The reason this works is because you set up your weapons with the axe and then an empty hand on the other hand, and that will allow you to swap through the same weapons and keep whatever's in the offhand automatically equipped, which is one of my favorite little weird interactions in Guild Wars 2. As you'll see there, the weapon is still equipped. But yeah, that is going to bring us to the end of this one. Do let me know if you have any other stupid ideas that I can put together. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.